Hey everyone, I'm live. I went a few minutes early just because I was sitting here and thought it was silly to keep going. So I decided to do another impromptu Friday live stream simply because I just have some thoughts on a number of things, and I just thought it might be easier to do a live stream and talk about it than make a whole bunch of videos. And I'll probably let's be honest, I'll probably still make the dang videos over the weekend, but today just feels like such a weird, heavy day. Does it feel heavy for anyone else? It feels just like an incredibly heavy day to me. And I think part of that is just the severity of what's going on in the world. I think part of it is that I've had clients and friends and people I know just really freaking out over the last couple days, and it's all a lot. And so I thought it would just be nice to kind of get some stuff off my mind because there's a lot and it's complex, right? Hang on, move my keyboard out of the way. It's complex and it's nuanced and it's not black and white and it's not clear cut. And I was about to go to bed last night. I was literally laying in bed and I'm one of those people that I'm stupid about going to sleep, and so I have my phone with me and it's usually right next to me. And so I was just scrolling through Twitter and I started seeing what was happening in Minneapolis with the fires and things like that, and was instantly hooked for, of course, the next several hours. So I didn't really get a whole ton of sleep last night. But there was a lot that happened, and I have some thoughts about what's been going on, but I think far more importantly have thoughts about how we as human beings should navigate situations like this, because I do not fundamentally believe that getting angry is the answer. Getting angry is never the answer. When people are angry, really all they want to do is create more anger. That's all you want to do. When you're angry, you just want to justify your anger by creating even more anger. And I don't think that that's healthy, and I don't think that it's helpful, and I don't think that it's not healthy for you. It doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't create justice. It doesn't move us towards a solution. All it does is create more anger and more hate and more frustration. And so I'm sure we're going to get into some of those. I do have a couple of super chats already. I just want to make sure I'm acknowledging folks because, I really do appreciate the super chats. Ben, who is the creator of our Gretchen Watch intro. So we love Ben. Ben, your intro is deeply loved by people. Ben says, my patience wanes as I watch all of my Facebook friends cheering on the rioters. Some are calling for the cops to hang. These people were my friends. I completely understand this. And I think, I've made some tweets, and actually I posted on my Facebook too, I think, about the difference between how my friends treated people who didn't want to wear a mask. Guys, this is like a fake mask. It's made out of mesh, so I can breathe in it, but it looks real, right? I get this because I have to get on an airplane next week. But my friends who are raking me over the coals and calling me a murderer for not wanting to wear a mask, but all of a sudden are like, yes, riot in the streets, burn shit down. That is absolutely the answer. I completely agree. It's like I feel so disillusioned. I'm like, does no one have principles anymore? Does no one have principles? When did we think that rioting was the answer? I don't know. There's another super chat as well. Emily, hang on. Emily, very heavy today. I learned about compassion fatigue. It explains so much about how I'm feeling right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I know that, as someone who coaches people for a living, it's, one of the things I've always kind of taught myself and have built into my day is I have to have moments to take care of myself during the day, because there are days, not so much right now, but definitely there were days when my coaching practice was much more I have several coaching clients right now, but I don't have a full roster, which is totally fine. Actually, I'm actually completely okay with this. But there are times when I would have coaching calls just back to back all day, and I needed to have breaks during those days to take care of myself. And I think it's kind of the same thing. When you're coaching, you're showing compassion to others, you're giving of your energy to others. And I think in this situation, a lot of us are giving so much of our energy out to people, and it's a lot. So I think there are three big topics I want to talk about today. And they all overlap with each other. Believe it or not, they do all overlap. The first two have to do with my thoughts on what happened to George Floyd, because I think it's important to express those thoughts. Secondly, I want to address what I think of what's going on in Minneapolis and around the country. And lastly, I want to address the latest SJW bullying that is going on in the knitting community, which relates to the first two because it has to do with a man who owns a yarn shop in Minneapolis that is a few blocks away from where the riots are. And so it does all actually overlap. And of course, I'm happy to take your questions. I do try to do the best to see questions in the chat when I can. It is a lot easier for me to see super chat though, which I always say, but I also know people are in different financial situations, and so you may not always be able to do super chat, and I really do get it. Okay, so my thoughts on George Floyd. I don't know of anyone who does not believe that this is a tragedy. This should not have happened. It should not have happened in any way, shape, or form. There is no excusing it. If you have not seen the video of it, I recommend that people watch the video. I really do. And I know it is probably one of the most difficult videos to watch that you will watch, but I firmly believe that it is important that we watch it. It is important for his memory and for the impact that his death is having on the world, that we acknowledge how it happened and we come to grips with that, because this sort of thing should never happen again. It should never happen again. And perhaps maybe that is one of the good things that might come from this, is that something like this is like the atrocity of this will prevent it from happening maybe again. Maybe. I mean, who knows? That's what I'm going to hope. I firmly believe that in watching that video, we watched a murder. We watched a murder. And that's a difficult thing to come to. That is a difficult realization to have. I do believe that, I know, and a lot of you might disagree with me on this. That's fine. We can disagree. I do believe that race played a role here. I absolutely believe it. Now, do I believe that this police officer specifically said, I'm going to go out and kill a black man today? No, I do not believe that. I don't believe that's what happened. But do I believe that this would have happened if it was a white woman? No, absolutely not. Do I believe it would have happened if it was a white man of exactly the same build as George Floyd? No, I don't. I simply just don't believe it was the case. I could be wrong, and I will admit that, but I absolutely believe that the fact that he was black played a role in how this was handled. I do. Now, perhaps it was subconscious, perhaps it was unconscious bias. I think that those things do play a role, but I think that for me, I do believe race was a factor, and I think it is important for us to acknowledge that race was a factor. And you know what? Here is what pisses me off about the conversations happening around race in our country right now. Here's what pisses me off, is that the left, the SJW, the progressive left, has thrown around the term racist so much. Everything is racist. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is racist. And when you throw this term around all the time, literally in response to every damn thing, then when something happens that is a tragedy like this, that actually relates to race, we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it, because now all people on the right want to do, or people that don't agree with the crazy, and listen, folks, I use left and right very, very generally just as a frame of reference. I understand I'm making broad generalizations. I understand they don't apply to everyone. But what you have now is people on the right pushing back against the idea that this could be race related, because they're in constant reaction mode to the left saying that everything is racist. This is why it is so dangerous to throw this term around as though it means nothing. These terms mean something. And when everything is racist, when everything is about white supremacy, suddenly it has no meaning. And that's what's so dangerous about this. That's what's so dangerous about crying wolf every dang time. Because when something happens that is actually probably related to race, we can't even step back and have a coherent conversation about it. We cannot, it doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen because it's going like this. That's all it is. Going like this. This man died. It was a tragedy. It should not have happened. I hope. Can you imagine what will happen? I know that the cop just got charged with what was it, 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter not too long ago. Can you imagine what would happen if he's acquitted? I pray that that doesn't happen. I really do. I think that it would be absolutely such a travesty if that was the outcome of this. I hope that, you know, he has a debt to pay, and I think the other cops do as well. Someone should have stepped in and said no. Someone should have stepped in and stopped it. And I really hope that some semblance of justice is served in this. But what sort of justice can there be now that the entire goddamn city is burning down? Minneapolis is a great city. I don't know how many of you have been there. Minneapolis is actually one of my absolute favorite cities to go to. I love it there. It's such a great walking city, great food, great beer, great people. I have loved my time in Minneapolis so much. Burned to the ground. I mean, I'm sure there's still stuff there, but I think the most upsetting thing about this for me is all of these small businesses being destroyed, the community eating itself, or not even the community, because I don't believe that all of these people that are doing this are even from there. They're not even from there. They're coming in to take advantage and to riot. That's what they're doing. And I saw a news story saying, like, I don't know, maybe this has changed. Like, NBC has forbid people that forbid their news anchors from calling it a riot. It's an obvious riot. That's what it is. That's what we're talking about here. And the people that are going to lose their jobs as a result of this, going to lose their businesses, you know, those targets that we all saw the videos of, all those people are going to lose their job. That's done. All those people are going to lose their jobs. Those poor people that have bars and small businesses that have been absolutely destroyed. I mean, why? What is the point? What justice do you think you're getting by destroying someone else's life? What justice is that? How does that help to fix the problem? It doesn't. It doesn't. And the thing of it is, you know, sometimes sometimes principles are extraordinarily hard to live by. And I am of the mindset that we choose our emotions. We choose what emotions we experience, whether we're happy, sad, mad, frustrated, overjoyed, whatever it is. We choose our emotions, and then the experience we have in the world is created from those emotions. But when stuff like this happens, it is extraordinarily hard to say, I'm going to make the choice to be happy no matter what. I'm going to make the choice to focus my energy on things that I can control no matter what. The thing of it is we always are in control of our response. We cannot always control the things that happen to us, but we can always control the response that we give to them. And I don't know what people think they're achieving by burning down a city. I don't know what are you going to get when you're burning down a city? How does that help anything? It absolutely just makes no sense. Yeah, so Kira says, hang on, Kira, I saw your thing. Yeah, Kira says, MSNBC reporter on the ground last night characterized the riots as not unruly while standing there. I actually have this. I have this tweet. I'll pull this tweet up. Hang on, give me a second. This is like a classic example of life. Either a meme is imitating life or life is imitating a meme. I don't really know which one it is. Okay, here I have it on my screen. Screen share. Yeah, look at this. There it is. I think it's like, that's Ari Belcher, right? And he's literally saying, it is not, generally speaking, unruly, while literally standing in front of a burning building. And all I could think of when I saw this was this meme. That's all I could think of. Like, That's literally what we're living in, saying, oh, this is cool. This is cool. Everyone's been locked in their house for 2 months, but, and they're burning shit down now, but this is fine. Everything's fine. I mean, come on, man. And the thing of it is, too, is I don't even think a lot of this necessarily has to do with, oh shoot, hang on, I have another super chat. I have to show it. I don't actually, let's do the super chat first. Mikel, I'm not sure to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat. I read the EMTs never checked for vitals. They just loaded him up and took off. Hope maybe he's not dead. Well, no, he's dead. He's dead. Sadly. I mean, it would be amazing if he wasn't, but I heard he basically, he didn't have it. He was not responsive when the EMTs got there. Democrats should stop using this for politics. I absolutely agree for that. Elizabeth Warren. Oh my God. Here, I will do another thing from my Twitter, because I tweeted something else out about Elizabeth Warren today. Basically, guys, I use Twitter as my thing to track things I want to talk about more than anything else. Look at this tweet from Elizabeth Warren. Donald Trump is calling for violence against Black Americans. His advocacy of illegal state-sponsored killing is horrific. Politicians who refuse to condemn it share responsibility for the consequences. Trump threatening American lives and American democracy. We need to vote him out, blah, blah, blah. Elizabeth Warren generally being a crazy person. I mean, where did Trump call for violence? This is one of those things, they're literally making shit up. They're literally making shit up. I don't understand this. When did Trump call for violence? Trump has said he wanted it investigated. Trump has said, I can't even with these people, man. I can't even with these people. White women, Justine Diamond killed by a Black cop in 2017, same state, no looting, no burning. Yeah, I think, Elijah Schaefer, who does Slightly Offensive, he was talking about this as well today. I don't know if he was talking about, I don't remember if it was this case. It might have been this case. Elijah actually posted a really powerful video yesterday, and I thought it was just great. It's different than what he usually does, but watch his video if you get a chance. I thought it was fantastic. Where was I going? Oh, I had a good thought. Someone in the chat remind me what I was talking about before I rested that, or I stopped to talk about Elizabeth Warren being a crazy person. Where was I going? Oh, I remember. Okay, so I actually don't think that what we're seeing with the looting and the rioting is entirely about George Floyd, though. I mean, of course, there's political opportunism, but think about it, though. I really think, listen, the SJWs have been quiet. They've been quiet the last couple months, right? It's kind of like when you're in the, I don't have kids, but this is what I'm told. It's kind of like when you're in the house and you have young children and you're hanging out in the living room, and all of a sudden you realize things are too quiet and something must be going horribly wrong somewhere in the house. The kids are up to something. I feel like that's what happened here, because the SJWs, the progressive left, they've had their moments since the pandemic started. There was a moment of calling everyone racist against Asians, and there was a moment of calling the virus racist, but really they've been quiet. And I feel like this tragedy, it shot them out like a cannon, and they were like, okay, we've got our cause now. We've got our cause. And I think that with everything being pent up with these people, because they're literally addicted to outrage, folks. They're addicted to outrage. They are addicted to the warm, fuzzy feeling that being outraged about something gives them. That is the absolute fact with those on the far progressive left, the Antifa types, the social justice types. They are addicted to it, and they haven't had anything to fight lately. Other than they focused in on, you don't want to wear a mask, you want to kill grandma. They focused on that for a while. And now it's like they've been shot out of a cannon. And so essentially, I feel like it's all this pent up frustration and this pent up rage and this pent up energy, because everyone's been locked in their houses for the last 2 months. And now it's exploded. And I think a lot of them were waiting for a moment. I'm about to say something harsh. I don't think a lot of them really care about what happened to George Floyd. I just don't. Because if they really cared, then why would this be their response? Why would the response be to burn down a city? That makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense. Why would that be the response if they actually cared what happened? Those two things do not go together. They don't. And so I think there's a lot more going on in terms of people have not had an outlet, and then all of a sudden they did. And watch out. Watch out. I mean, I have to think that at this point the lockdown is basically over. Like, wouldn't you say the lockdown is basically over? Like, everyone's rioting in the streets. No one's wearing masks. The only reasons people are wearing masks is to hide their identity so they don't get arrested later. So like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm going to continue to sit in my house and not really go anywhere until on Wednesday. I actually have to fly to Los Angeles to PragerU's making a video about my story, so I have to go to Los Angeles to be in it. And I'm actually really excited. I'm actually really excited to get on a plane and to go to LA. And I hate Los Angeles, so we'll see how that goes. But still, I'm excited to be able to travel. All right, so that's my thought on George Floyd. I did a little bit of my thoughts on the riots. I think that if you really think that rioting is the answer, I just don't know what to tell you, folks. I just don't know what to tell you. You always control your response to things. You always control your response. And what we experience in life will be a reflection of what we contribute. That's what it is. What we experience will be a reflection of what we contribute. So, I mean, I just don't know what to say. Let's see. Oh, we got another super chat. Hang on, guys. I'm not even seeing the super chats in the chat today because you guys are going so dang fast. Oh my gosh. How can I bring this onto the screen? Well, thank you. Real Arcalion. I don't know how to bring it onto the screen in the way that I see it. Your reaction to Warren's tweet is spot on. This is the toxicity of the left. At its ideological core, they don't care. They want power. They want power at any dollar. Yeah, at any cost. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that that's exactly what they want, and they're using this. And, you know, the fact that I'm so disgusted with the left right now. I'm so disgusted. I was already sufficiently disgusted with them for trying to create or maintain a recession simply to win an election. And now they're taking advantage of a tragedy to win an election. I mean, I just don't know what to say. Kyla Wolf says, thank you for not blindly buying into either side. You're very welcome. I try to do my best. Because listen, reality is often many different shades of gray. It's usually not right or left. And we have to stop speaking in those terms. Morgan said, I'm so baffled as to how you can support Trump. Morgan, you will be overjoyed because I'm actually going to be doing a video on that. I did an AMA on Reddit last night on r/conservative. So if you, and there's actually like a lot of good questions that I answered on there last night. But I got a message from someone who basically said the same thing. I don't know how you can support Trump. You obviously were never a Democrat. All this bullshit. I'll explain it. Well, I mean, and again, like, I guess I'll just say this. It's not so much that I think that Trump is the greatest president ever, because I don't think that Trump is the greatest president ever. I am planning on voting for him because I don't want the left to be in power. I don't want the left to be in power. I don't want them to have any power over anything. They have abused their privileges so far as I'm concerned. And of the two options of Trump, who is not perfect, but I think is trying as best he can, and Biden, who has dementia, like, I will take Trump every single day of the week. Trump becomes stronger when Dems do what they do. Yeah, well, this is a lesson that the Democrats are not learning, isn't it? Democrats have learned absolutely nothing since 2016. They're using the same old playbook, and I firmly believe that Trump is still going to win, and we'll see what happens. We'll see. So that's kind of how I feel about all of that stuff. Again, please feel free to ask me any questions. But what I really wanted to do on the live stream today, and I know a lot of you probably are not knitters, but for those of you who don't know my story, I am a knitter. I'm a compulsive knitter. I knit all the time. And how I actually kind of ventured over to leave the Democratic Party was social justice warriors took over my knitting community. They took over Instagram. We're starting to bully people indiscriminately on Instagram. They only ever bully people who have a following, and you know, they try to destroy their businesses when they don't bend the knee and all that. And last night we saw the latest bullying attempt on Instagram. And I have to share a different screen first. Okay, so here is how this started. So this is Stephen B. Stephen B. in the knitting community is very well known. He is a very, very fabulous, flamboyant gay man. He has a yarn store in Minneapolis. And it is just a few blocks away from the riots. And what I also learned last night is that he has a home there as well that's not too far away, where he lives with his mother. And you know, so he's very close to all this stuff right now. And the other day on Instagram, this is a screen grab that someone sent me because the original post has been deleted. But this is a screen grab that someone sent. He posted a video showing off different knitting kits that, you know, for those of you who don't knit, sometimes knitting shops will put together kits so you don't have to think about colors, and it's just kind of like, you don't have to worry about it because they do a good job of it. So he put together a series of kits and he posted this video on Instagram. It says, "Let's escape reality, let's knit. I just woke up to news headlines. Minneapolis is burning and 100,000 dead, just a block from Stephen B." And what he's saying is just a block away from his store. It also has links to go and buy the kits that he's showing off. And so that was what he posted on Instagram. That's it. And the SJWs descended on him and bullied him like repeatedly. And I still, like, the original post got deleted, so I'm still, if you have screenshots of the original post, I have some screenshots. I don't have all the screenshots, but I do have some of them. And actually, well, I don't want to show you guys the person who gave me the screenshots, so I'm not going to show you those. But what I do also have is the response, and we're gonna read. You're gonna witness me reading some of these tweets in real time. Oh, that's not what I want to share. I want to share a different one, or a post rather, on Instagram, real time, because I actually haven't read all these yet. So if you go onto Instagram, onto Stephen B's profile, you can see he's issued the standard apology. Now, the standard apology is what happens when someone gets bullied and you guys got to understand, and you're going to see this as we go through this post, but when I'm talking about someone getting bullied in the knitting community, we're talking about hundreds, at least like hundreds of people posting over or hundreds of posts blasting you, calling you a horrible person, calling you a racist, demand you apologize and show contrition and show that you've been educated into apologizing. It is overwhelming for people on the other side of it. So Stephen B, apparently not realizing that he should never apologize. If you ever get attacked from SJWs, never, ever, 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 ever apologize. Do not apologize. Even if you're like, oh, maybe I could have been a little bit nicer, I could have said something different. Do not apologize. And what you're going to see in this is that the apology is literally never enough. Literally never enough. So let's see what Stephen B posted. He said, "My apologies. I would like to sincerely apologize. I posted a video earlier with insensitive caption. I've taken it down. Hang on, I'm just adjusting my screen so I can actually see the chat. I've taken it down so as not to offend more people, and I'm putting this apology up. I am mortified. I didn't realize what I was posting." So he apologized. In normal human behavior, when someone offers you an apology, you say, "Okay, thank you. Thank you." And you say, you know, "You're forgiven." Oh, we can see, oh, Morgan's an SJW. I get it now, Morgan. I get it. "Please check what he's doing to educate environment, women's health." Okay, SJW alert, folks. We got them in the chat. Because, you know, here's what they do. They spy on my Instagram. And a lot of them have blocked me on Instagram. So what I'm going to show you, I'm obviously logged into Instagram here, but just understand, I'm not even going to show you the full depth of the bullying that's occurring on this post, because many of the SJWs have blocked me, because obviously I've shown a really big spotlight on what's going on in the knitting community, and they don't like that. So a lot of them have blocked me. So we're going to see what I can see. So I'm just going to read some of the comments on this post. There are good ones too, because there are a lot of us in the knitting community that fight back. But I'm just going to scroll down to, actually, I wonder if I can even, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to see if I can get the link bigger. Go to post. Oh, that's not really that helpful. Well, we'll see. These are people telling Stephen B. he doesn't have to apologize. These are good people. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, hang on. I should have, guys, I apologize. I should have viewed more at the beginning. I should have had this all set up. What the hell? You knew what you were doing. It's blocks from your storefront. You should know what's occurring in your community. If your community is on fire, you don't wake up and say, then let us knit cake, which is, of course, not what he did. Funky Cat Crochet says, it wasn't just insensitive. It added to violence and harm already carried by Black people in the community. What will you do to be better? Because he hasn't sufficiently bent the knee. That's 2 insensitive comments in 2 weeks. It's not a mistake. It's a pattern now. Please do better. When I saw that post this morning, I just shook my head. As a Black woman knitter, I could not believe that you were so dismissive and insensitive to attempt to monetize murder. I'm so tired and exhausted from all the racial violence we endure in this country, but I don't have the luxury to avoid it and pretend like it's not happening. Instead, I'm crying into my knitting, wondering when things can change. And of course, this person doesn't seem to realize how privileged they are to even have knitting, because knitting, believe it or not, is actually like a really expensive hobby. Like one of these skeins of yarn. Knitting is an expensive hobby. If you are into nice yarn, like what Stephen B sells, expensive. One of these skeins of yarn is about $30. It takes the average shawl that I knit. You guys are always commenting on like why I don't sell my shawls. Like the average shawl that I knit has $150 worth of yarn in it. That's why I don't sell them. No one's going to buy them. It takes me 4 to 5 weeks to knit a shawl and $150 worth of yarn. Like, it's an expensive hobby. It's a time-consuming hobby. So if you're knitting with his yarn or with yarn that he sells in particular, you are spending a lot of money on it. So to have the privilege of doing that and knitting and not realizing that you're privileged to have that as well, I mean, come on. You're literally from the area in which this genocide is happening. Just wow. Genocide. One man. That's not a genocide. And again, I want to emphasize, like, what happened to him is a tragedy. What happened is an absolute tragedy, but it's not a genocide. That's not what that means. This is an empty, meaningless non-apology. What are you doing to address racism and anti-Blackness? Regardless of half-assed apologies or intent, the impact was hurtful and not okay. Everyone leaping to Stephen's defense needs to take a step back and examine the impact his words have on communities so affected by current events and ongoing police brutality and marginalization. Not okay. Made more not okay by being mere blocks from where a Black man was murdered on camera for which no charges have been pressed. And before anyone jumps on me, I live right between where George Floyd was murdered and the 3rd precinct, where we are going on 3 days of protest and demonstration. So this person is literally saying, I'm going to go burn down the police station. All right, cool. This is my community. Stephen B has long been my yarn store, but I won't support this kind of tone-deaf apology with my money any longer. Well, that's fine, lady, because I will be buying from Stephen B's yarn store for the foreseeable future. The bottom line is that nothing, and let me say that again, nothing will be good enough now. No apology, no attempt to do better. Nothing you do will be good enough to approve. Oh, this is someone good. Okay, this is someone good. I'm reading it in dramatic voice. I got a little carried away. This is good. We'll keep reading this, but this is a good person. Okay. No apology, no attempt to do better. Nothing you do now will be good enough to appease the SJW crowd now that you have angered them. This person's exactly right. Don't even try, but welcome to the other side where we accept apologies and trust that once a mistake is made, it won't be made again. And you don't have to treat you like a toddler and scold you over and over again. Good person. Yay. That person's a good person. Another good person. That's an apology, a picture, and 4 sentences. Golf clap. I live in California and I know what's going on in your neighborhood. Not impressed. Now, are you actually going to do better, or is this just lip service to save face? Also, how do you not know what you're posting? I wouldn't accept this apology from my kids. The intention comes from a good place. I met you at Con last year in New Zealand. I don't know what that is. You asked me about my cultural tattoo before Mary dragged you away from me. I've given you the benefit of the doubt, but no, I see that your past ideologies are just as poison as hers. So apparently this person is offended because Stephen asked her about a tattoo. Okay. That's a good person. Good intentions, and I didn't know what I was doing, my black behind. There's rioting because a man was gleefully murdered by a police officer, by a police officer for no other reason than he was black. And the damn photo of the incident shows the officer practically smiling as he did so. Apologies are meaningless now. Impact over intent, always. Do better. I'm sorry, but this apology doesn't cut it. You're an adult. Take responsibility for your actions. Saying you don't realize what you were posting is trying to avoid accountability. This apology doesn't mean anything. Your community is being torn apart by fear and violence, and they deserve better from you. Take time to reflect on what you did and change your behavior, and that would be better than an apology. So I'm just going to stop there, see if there are any questions in the chat. We'll keep going. We're going to keep reading, but I haven't been able to look at the chat as I've been reading this. Yeah, so Tom asked, this is a good question. What do the SJWs want him to do? Pray to the lefty altar and bathe in its blood? Tom, I'm pretty sure that would even not be good enough. That would not be good enough. There is literally at this point, they have targeted him. There is nothing he can do. There is nothing he can say. There is nothing he can do. The best thing for him to do, and a lot of us have, I think, reached out to him, and I know people, I've been talking to people who he's talking with, so I know he's getting the message. The very best thing he can do now is to lay low, not say anything, and let it die. But if he comes back and tries to apologize again, it's just going to get worse. These people will not be appeased. And so, I mean, maybe he's going to lose some customers out of this, but the good side of it is he's going to gain customers in return. So that'll be good. Kim says acrylic is much cheaper. Yes, acrylic is much cheaper. Oh, Cemetery of Choice. This guy is in danger of having his business torched and is trying to help people care for their mental health, and they're attacking him. And this is a really critical point. Okay, this is a really critical point that people need to understand about the knitting wars. Hang on, I'm going to take a sip. Sadly, that's just soda. There's nothing, diet soda even, so there's nothing fun in this, but. So here's what people need to understand about the SJW knitting wars is that what we're doing right now is I'm just walking you through the comments on this post, right? That's one thing that happens, but that's not actually the worst thing that happens. The worst thing that happens is what these people do is they reach out to your business contacts. They might reach out for like popular designers. Popular designers a lot of times will make money by partnering with knitting shops, partnering with yarn dyers, things like that. So what they do is they reach out to the people that you're working with, who your business contacts are, and they basically say, did you know you are supporting white supremacy by working with these people to try to destroy their businesses? That's what they do. That's actually the worst of it, is their businesses really do get destroyed. And so this is more than just people saying mean things on the internet. They message each other. They monitor what each other are doing. If in what used to happen is if you were a popular knitwear designer and you did not denounce someone like Stephen B, if you did not proactively denounce them, they would go after your businesses. So it wasn't even just enough to stay quiet. There's a really popular designer named Caitlin Hunter. I think it was I think that's her name. Actually, I have one of her projects on my needles right now. She just said, I'm just not going to say anything. So what happened was the SJWs would like email or message her saying, we noticed that you haven't denounced Sockmatician yet for his vile words and tone policing in the knitting community. And so she just said, I'm just not going to say anything. And that wasn't good enough either. So because she didn't say anything, they went after her business contacts. And so it really does get very nefarious. Cemetery of Choice, man, I meant literally yeah, I know what you did. I know what you meant, dude. I was just trying to provide broader context because because people think that like this is just mean comments on the internet. It's not just mean comments. It's not. And in this case, I mean, Cemetery of Choice is absolutely right, is that his store is right next to where the riots are. This could literally cost him his store. It really could. And so, you know, it is what it is. All right. Let's go back and read some more comments. How can you be in Minneapolis and be this tone deaf? Stephen B., you know this broke my heart. I didn't see this video, just the captioned words and apology. You have been an openly gay man who has experienced different levels of disrespect, prejudice, and hatred. And now you have risen to a place in your life where you have the option to not participate in things around you because of color and economics. That does not mean that you direct others to follow down a path that does not edify or vilify the current situation. Black men are being killed at an alarming rate. If you do not know what to do, ask. If you do speak, make sure it's in support or against, but not in a let's stick our head in the sand type of way. I will never have the privilege of silence or of turning the other cheek as each side of my cheek gets slapped. I suggest that you not only take this post down, but pick a side and not be silent and issue a real apology. The other thing I want to say about this is, listen, can you imagine how scared he must be right now? Can you imagine? Like, I mean, he's in exactly the same position as every small business owner who has had their business destroyed by this, who has had their business literally burnt down by this. His shop could very literally be burnt down. His house very literally could be burnt down where he lives with his mother. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, he's obviously, when I saw that video, you know, when I saw the original video with the caption, I was kind of like, okay, maybe that's like a little tone deaf. But then I realized, I was like, he's probably terrified. This is probably his coping mechanism. And everyone's allowed that. He did nothing wrong by trying to take care of his mental health through knitting. And knitting is a very meditative thing. It calms you down. It is a very healthy thing to do in situations like this. So to try to take care of his mental health and the mental health of people who use knitting for this type of thing, you know, it just makes no sense to me that this is so bad that this is what they're doing. Let's keep going. Oh, sweet. Okay, that's a good one. So you've seen the good thing about the knitting community is we do actually have a lot of people taking fighting back. Tearing down people is not constructive. It's good. This is a meaningless apology. Do better. This is happening in your community. Acknowledge the reality around us. Don't escape from it. This is not an apology. Oh, this person. Okay, so I just want to look at this. So let's look at this person right here. So you can always tell an SJW in the knitting world because they have like colored hair and evil looks on their faces. So, and this is all public. So I'm not doxing anyone or anything. This is all public. This is not an apology. You need to acknowledge what you did, what work you need to do, and what impact posts like this have on your BIPOC brothers and sisters. Step up and learn and lean in. Step up, learn, and lean in to anti-racism instead of attempting to sidestep the issue. This is privilege. Fellow queer white person to another, this reality is not something we all have the privilege to escape. And a half-assed apology doesn't meet the mark when innocent people are being profiled and killed, and public resistance to it is being publicized as an unneeded act of defiance. I am not here to put you down. Well, of course, that's exactly what you're doing. But I am here to tell you that you need to do better. A real apology, real action, not living behind the burden of inequity, curtly apologizing for being willfully ignorant. An insensitive caption, an understatement. It was a vulgar cry for support of this business in the face of horrible crimes against BIPOC. This is post, not an apology. And you know, because this is the thing too, is like, I would be worried about my business too. This is your livelihood. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being worried about the business. Ugh. Leia, I am modding you from now on. I was just thinking about this. Leia is going to be a mod. Curist, I'm going to make a mod if you guys want it. Like, just to have a little fancy thing. But also, if there are trolls in the chat, I want people to be able to ding them. So, for people that come to my stuff regularly, I'll make everyone I like a mod. I don't really care. Jen probably. All right, let's keep going. This is a good person. Guess I won't be shopping in your store anymore. Let's see where this person's from. Let's see where they're from. Oh, we don't really know. Private account. Okay, so whatever. I'm willing to bet that anyone saying that most people saying that they're not going to shop at a store anymore have never shopped there to begin with. After all of the conversation in the knitting community over the last 12 plus months, and with this recent lynching happening right at your back door, there is no way you didn't realize what you were doing. Take real accountability and do better. Intent does not negate harm. Do the work to examine your privilege and understand why this harmed people, this apology, is meaningless until then. Oh no, you knew what you were doing when you posted it. Do better. No, sir. Your little apology and your original post are very disappointing, especially coming from someone who I admire so much. Yeah, I highly doubt this person admires him. It must be nice to simply not to be affected by what's happening in the world around you and to live like everything is okay. It also must be nice to not feel obligated to show accountability for the things you say. Just delete. Give a quick, limp apology and move on. I'm disappointed. And you can see, look at how many likes these things have. This one has 240 likes. 240 likes. You are absolutely realized what you are posting. Thanks for your recommendation. Oh, this person's a good person. This person doesn't know what's going on. I interact with her a little bit. I think I saw the post earlier. All I saw was a caption about self-care in a time of turmoil. It seemed insensitive to me, but not wrong. This is a good person. I'm unfollowing you. This apology sucks. A black man was murdered by police and you only care about offending people on Instagram. He was literally attacked. He was literally attacked for posting a video on Instagram. That was what he was attacked for. And none of these people, again, this is what I'm saying. Like, none of these people actually care about, this has nothing to do with George Floyd. This has nothing to do with it. This has to do with power and control, and there not being any drama in the knitting community lately for people to react to. It's crazy. See, I love these people who call me fat like they think it's gonna offend me. I don't care, man. I'm ordering fucking Buffalo Wild Wings after this. I don't care. I don't care. Probably, I'll have my husband will probably go get some beer. I'm laughing all the way to having a happy stomach, I'll tell you that. People get killed just sticking to jogging, bird watching, just saying. Unfollowing, maybe take a definitive stance against racism as opposed to a non-apology unless you'd rather profit from the system. All right, I saw a super chat out of the corner of my eye. Let's see what this says. Jason says, just got here and have no idea what's going on, but these comments are making great entertainment while smoking this bowl. Jason, I'm going to be joining you in a little bit, my friend. A little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Yeah, I agree. This is the second apology in a month that had the overall tone of, I didn't know what I was posting. I didn't know what was sent. Either take the time to think about how your shop communicates or own up to your errors like an adult. And we're not even getting into the back and forth, right? We're not even looking at the replies because the replies are often just as good, but you guys will have to look at those on your own. Another black man was murdered. The insensitive disregard shown in that post makes me sick to my stomach. You're going to need to give me more than that. Explain what was wrong with your post and what you need to explore within yourself and in our country. Don't make this a bigger dumpster fire with a small apology that doesn't take into account how hurt and disappointed some people felt by your words. And saying you didn't realize is saying you don't take responsibility for your actions or thoughts. Let's just see what the responses are here. Okay, so this person says, oh shit, as a knitter of color, what did I miss? And so the response is, basically, there are people dying outside my store. Let's escape reality. Buy my shawl kits. I'll let you choose your own accent mini. Oh, I didn't see the video, but saw the response and apology. Worked catching up today. I didn't know he also tried to sell shawl kits. A yarn store selling shawl kits. Oh, the horror. What has the world come to? Good for colorful knitting. Colorful knitting gets kudos. All right. This is anything but an apology. I hope you take the time to see how insensitive both your initial post and now this apology is, and unpack your privilege and show up. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. It's not just insensitive, it's downright callous and stupid. Unfollow. My apology isn't even a real apology. Honestly, you really didn't realize you were posting something horrifically insensitive and damaging? No. What you said, your words caused harm. You caused harm. And again, classic SJW look. Glasses, mean face. I can see some pink in her hair. Listen, you know one of the things that really pisses me off about all of this is I used to have, I'll even show you guys. I have my Instagram pulled up here because there's something I want to show you on it. But I'm just going to scroll down. It's going to take a sec, but I promise you it's worth it. I promise you. Oh my God. So what really pisses me off about all of these SJWs is like, I get so much raging crap for my haircut because it's like shorter and looks like an SJW haircut. Like it really pisses me off because I like having my hair like this. And now all these people, and I wear glasses obviously. And now all these people are like, making me feel bad about my haircut and that I need to change it. And I used to have really cool, colorful hair. You're going to see it in a second. We're almost there. Promise. Because it was my cruise hair. So I used to have, guys, awesome, colorful hair. Awesome, colorful hair. Look at that. I've got this one. Oh, no. Look at that. Like my hair was freaking awesome. And I can't have colorful hair anymore because of the SJWs being crazy. I can't do it anymore. I can only have like normal, as normal. This is about as normal as my hair gets. So these people have like ruined my haircut and ruined my ability to have colorful hair without being stereotyped as an SJW. And so that's why I'm like extra mad. Oh, I didn't mean to put that on the screen. Sorry, guys. Dangerous hair. Yeah, I mean, ugh, God, I'm getting really sweaty because it's really hot in my office. Just so you know, I don't have air conditioning in my office. So that's why I'm getting really sweaty. But we're going to persist, nevertheless, among the heat and all the other stuff. She persisted, God damn it. I'm going to zhuzh my hair a little bit. There we go. All right, let's keep going. I just saw a screenshot from your video and it made me physically nauseous. Your community is hurting. Black people are continuing to get killed for no reason. But should we all just sit back and knit? No. Fuck that. It's our responsibility as white people to get angry. Use your privilege for good. Speak for those whose voices are not being heard. Not just sit back and hide because we can. I expected better of you. Yikes, no. There's no way you didn't realize. No, this is what a white, privileged male speaks. Try again. You didn't know what you were saying? You're way smarter than that because it's not enough. Like being a gay man, okay, first of all, a man in knitting. Men in knitting are rare. Men in knitting are basically the minority, right? And then to be a gay man, it's not as though he doesn't know what it's like to not be part of like the majority, but that's not good enough anymore because he's a white man. And I'm going to tell you this, and people in the chat who know who Stephen West is for the knitters, Stephen West is crazy if they think he's not going to come for him. If he thinks they're not going to come for him at some point. Stephen West, for those of you who don't know, he's my favorite knitwear designer. I knit almost exclusively Stephen West patterns because they're awesome. He's an awesome designer. He's an awesome person. I've taken classes with him. He's such a good, positive energy about him. he unfortunately was one of the people that denounced Sockmetition when all that was happening, because I think they were messaging him and forcing him to. I think that he is crazy. I think he is out of his mind if he does not think that they're going to come for him at some point. I don't understand. And it would be so powerful if he spoke out in support of Stephen B, because they've been on tour together, I think. I mean, they've done stuff together, and so he knows him, and I don't know why he wouldn't speak in support of him. Yeah, so Lou Casey says, damn SJWs for ruining the hair color trend. I totally agree. Oh, Gingy is also my favorite designer. Just for the record, Gingy is also my favorite designer. Jeanette Howard, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's keep going. You and I and every queer person benefited from Black trans people rioting at Stonewall. We all realized that. Okay, I saw this one last night. I actually thought this was a joke. You guys remember when David Hogg tweeted something about like Black, trans, and non-binary people being the heroes of the Civil War or some such nonsense? I swear to God, that's a real thing. Someone link that in the chat. Like if you can find this tweet from David Hogg, I'll pull it up. I swear this is a real thing. David Hogg tweeted something about Black, trans, and non-binary women being the heroes of the Civil War. And what we're reading right now, I saw this one last night, and that reminded me of that. All right, let's keep going. You and I and every queer person benefited from Black trans women rioting at Stonewall. We all realize the harm in asking people to ignore injustice. It's not that you offended, it's that you harmed. Now it's time to do better. Man, I wish I could just take off my skin and get back to knitting. But unfortunately, I'm Black every day, and the fear and the struggle that comes with that is just too much to ignore. Sorry, I'll be praying for your change of heart and safety. Perhaps a knitting shop is not the pro. Okay, whatever. Nope, not good enough. How are you working to be anti-racist? How are you reckoning with racism in the community? How are you working to make your community right there on 38th in Chicago feel better? Your video was crass and hurtful to your followers who are in pain. People are dying. Do better. And I want to be very clear at this juncture. If I haven't been clear already, or if people are just kind of joining, I'm not doing this to make fun of the situation in Minneapolis. That is not my intent. I think that the situation in Minneapolis is tragic. It is a tragic situation. But that does not justify bullying people and mobbing people simply because they chose a different coping mechanism than you. It does not justify it. All right, let's keep going. Laughing my ass off, apology, please. This is a half-assed comment in an attempt to stop people from holding you accountable. You knew. Being able to escape into your knitting comes from a place of privilege, although the instinct to escape is understandable. The Black families down the street can't turn off what they're going through, and we have to turn towards injustice rather than hiding from it. It's not easy, but as white people, we have to work on being anti-racist for our entire lives. This is the least we can do. Take time to think about what you'll say next and follow it up with real action. Yep. Oh, that's not what I want to show. Tarka Jedi, let's hit 200 likes. Yeah, guys, please smash that like button for me. I really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the dramatic reading of Knitting Crazy Town, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Morgan is still trolling in the chat, I see. Fine, whatever, Morgan. Peak white male privilege. being able to not only shout out the horror of human beings dying on your doorstep, but comfortably encouraging others to ignore it too. This apology is demeaning and dangerous. Reframing your actions as something that caused offense is intended to minimize it from the harm of telling the privileged it's not only okay to do nothing about the massive loss of lives that are a direct result of racism and related policy, and that those lives are less important than enjoy your knitting to a slight, I don't know what that means. It's disgusting, but sadly typical. No apologies needed. So more people having his back, which is awesome. And guys, if you're in the knitting community, like, please speak up when you see this. The more people speak up when this type of bullshit happens, the less it's going to happen, because now they know we're fighting back. Now they know. And that is really important. Oh, okay. I have a different question in the chat. We're going to take a break from knitting. Aiden says, Carlin, my little sister Karen, is being bullied because of the Karen meme. As a proponent of the meme, how do you respond to this? I was bullied incessantly growing up for my name being different. So I am not, oh my God, I'm so fucking sweaty. Oh, Jesus. There we go. So I am not unsympathetic to people being bullied because of this stuff. I absolutely understand it. I was bullied my entire life. I mean, gosh. But here's the thing. It's a joke. And people need to be able to have jokes. And so I mean, this is a perfect opportunity, frankly, for her to stand up and say, I'm not that type of Karen. And to say, okay, whatever, laugh it off. Learn to let it roll off your back, man. The thicker skin that she can develop from this, the better. And I don't really think that she's being bullied. I would find it hard to believe that she's being bullied as badly as other people are bullied, to be quite frank, over a meme. I just don't think that that's true, unless she's acting like a Karen. If she really is acting like a Karen, then maybe she should stop acting like a Karen. Is my best advice. Get a thick skin, man. I literally get death threats and hate mail every single day. So get a thick skin. This is a good chance to turn it up. I don't get death threats every day. I get hate mail every day. I've been getting guys, can I tell you? I've been getting the weirdest hate mail lately from some dude. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but some dude emails me every day pretending they're a cat and telling me what a horrible person I am. I just don't even know. Maybe I'll read those sometime, but they're not even funny. It's like not even good hate mail. Listen, if you're going to send me hate mail, at least send me good hate mail. That's all I ask. Send me hate mail that's like worth my time reading, because someone pretending to be a cat and talking in like cartoon voice and not even making sense. This person basically sounds like they're drunk all the time. That's not good hate mail, man. I want good, solid hate mail. If you're going to take the time to email me or to find a way to contact me, you make it good. Christ's sake. Now that, a dude, is this a guy? A male SJW? Yep, male SJW. Let's see what he has to say. Now that you've gotten the empty, worded apology out of the way, what actions are you going to take to educate yourself and your staff about these issues? How are you going to work to change your behavior? I can't tell if this person's an SJW. Oh, yeah, okay, SJW. When I was growing up, my dad used to tell me that a good apology has 3 parts. I'm sorry. It's my fault. How can I make it better? How I'm going to make it better. Your apology doesn't indicate that you deeply understand what was harmful or acknowledge the learning awareness you have to grow. Not does it address how you will try to do better in the future. I'm sure this experience is difficult and embarrassing and makes you want to defend yourself. There is no defense. That's the whole point. There is no way to defend themselves. I encourage you to stay open and soft and listen. You stand on the precipice on the precipice of becoming a powerful ally to marginalized people, but only if you say yes to doing the hard work of dismantling your internalized privilege. If you choose to dismiss these comments in this conversation as mean or attacking, you will be making the choice that your comfort is more important than participating in the just transformation of society, because we can't have both. I hope you choose empathy and growth. Okay, I want to make a point about this. This person is saying you're making a choice that your comfort is more important than participating in the just transformation of your society. Yes. Yes. It is okay to be selfish. Whoever told you that it is not okay to be selfish is a liar. It is okay to take care of yourself. It is okay to prioritize yourself over the needs of other people. I'm sorry, it just is. If you aren't taking care of yourself, you can't serve people. You can't help people. That's just part of the deal, man. Never, ever, 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 ever feel selfish for taking care of yourself. Never let someone gaslight you into thinking that it is not okay to take care of yourself. Never. Ernest says, the soy is strong with this one. I totally agree. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, male feminist, which is not at all attractive to women, by the way. I am so appalled at your behavior. You are my closest local yarn shop, and I am not sure I can ever shop or even look at you again. How long have you been at 35th and Chicago? My God, a man was murdered horribly. You need to do much more to show genuine compassion and support for our community. An apology contains the words, I'm sorry. This is garbage. Try again. You know what you're doing? You're still shrinking responsibility and accountability. What are you actually going to do? Your lack of... Oh, another dude. Let's look at this guy. Another guy. Dr. Knit, Flicks and Coffee 2.0. He's a therapist. Oh my God. A therapist? An intersectional feminist? Oh, gee. Oh, this is going to be a good one, guys. Get ready. It's going to be a good one. Oh, hang on. I'm going to take some drink of soda. Hang on. Arden says, oh, hang on. I think the reason Karen is more sensitive right now is because we're stressed from immigrating to the UK from Singapore. That's very stressful, man. I totally get it. I'm married to an immigrant. I totally get it. All right. Are we ready? Because this is going to be like a massive SJW one. I can feel it. Okay. Your lack of insight shows both your privilege and commitment to upholding white supremacy culture. Like many gay white men, you can't see oppression outside of your sexuality, while simultaneously failing to realize that just because you are oppressed in one part of your life, it doesn't negate privilege in other parts of your life. In other words, white man, white man, white man, white man, nothing you can do. Bend the knee, motherfucker. That's all you can do. Ugh. These people. I'm so happy to see so many people sticking up for him, though. It wasn't always like this. In fact, it wasn't always like this. So if you didn't realize what you were posting, what are you going to do to change that? What are your steps towards being less neglecting, less hurtful, and less racist? And again, okay, so this person's calling him racist. Let's just do a quick reminder, shall we? I don't know if this will work if I pull it into the screen. No, it won't. Let's just do, for people who maybe were not here at the top, let's just do a quick reminder of what Stephen B did. Stephen B posted a video showing off yarn. And he said, let's escape reality. Let's knit. I just woke up to news headlines. Minneapolis is burning and 100,000 dead. Just a block from Stephen B. He's in Minneapolis. He's right next to the riots. His shop and his house are right there. This is the crime that he committed to deserve this outrage. This is what he did. Okay? We all on the same page? That's it. That's all he did. That's it. Let's keep going back. Okay, hang on. Stop share. Share screen. Application window. There we go. Okay. What are your steps towards becoming less neglecting, less hurtful, and less racist? Just apologizing is not enough if you don't take the steps needed to make sure you won't do it again. The problem is not only what you did, but two, what you thought when you did it. If you would have an anti-racist mindset, if you would have compassion for people around you, you never would have thought about posting that. So what will you do to change your thoughts? Nope, this is crap. Be more accountable. Unfollowed. Shows you where you are where you want to be. Monetizing or trying to greed, privilege. Then saying you didn't know what you were posting is legitimate scam of an apology that doesn't make sense, but only furthers the harm already. Because again, privilege, white privilege, racist, hateful, spiteful, white privilege. No, you need to do better than this. This is an "I'm sorry for the way you feel" post. It's not good enough. Just to put a timeline to this, Mr. Floyd was murdered Monday night. The news may not have hit until Tuesday morning. That means you've had at least 4 and as many as 6 posts, not including any stories that I can't see dates of posting, that completely disregard the tragic event happening in your beloved Twin Cities. I don't know how to read this. Are you completely interested in the world or uninterested in the world around you? Is your marginalized status so disconnected from others? Is your manic pixie persona so rigidly affixed that you cannot escape its trap? No doubt all of this is upsetting you, though by volume, not nearly as upsetting as it is to many knitters who follow you. This is a moment for you to make a decision. Stop being mortified, get educated, pay someone to teach you, go seek out educators, not spinners or fixers. Work hard to listen and take in lessons. Then come back and show, no telling, show what you have learned. Learn, make reparations, do better. Be better. Make this your opportunity to better and repair what you have torn. Crazy town. Justin, I want to say I really appreciated your comments on my live chat yesterday with Dr. Karen. I thought you had some really good thoughts. Justin says, "Oh my God, just logged in and you are reading something that literally talking about thought crimes." I am literally reading something that talking about thought crimes. I am. Orwell wasn't supposed to be an instruction manual. Dude, listen, if you haven't, hang on, I'm pouring a soda, so I don't know if the mic's picking that up. If you haven't read 1984 lately, read 1984. It's terrifying. It's even more terrifying now. If you haven't read Animal Farm lately, give it a read. Just do it. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Fahrenheit 451 as well. Lots of terrifying stuff going on, man. Lots. Oh, Maria's here. Maria, your shirt just got shipped, and it's gonna be. It's on its way to you, so it's almost there. You have some work to do. I'd like to suggest you read Stamped by Jason Reynolds, the middle grade edition from blah, 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 blah. Okay, so he's got to do homework now. Whatever. Oh, please, your apology was pathetically weak. Your city is on fire. WTF. People trying to say good things. This is not a real apology. A true apology acknowledges the harm that was done to people who were hurt. Did you actually understand the harm you did? Or are you just recoiling because you're feeling the sting of offending people? A true apology speaks the mistake. You say you didn't realize, but do you not understand it now? How can you say it out loud? A true apology includes a plan for how you will repair the damage you've done and how you will prevent the mistake from happening again. Okay, you took the post down. That is literally the least you can do. What else can you do? Oh, Tina piped in. Tina, I love Tina from Twitter. She's the best. She always makes me so happy. Every time I see her face pops up, she like makes me very, very happy. Okay, apology will never be enough for these people. That's good. More people defending him. How could you not realize what you were writing? This isn't an apology. Fellow white people, stop excusing this behavior. This isn't our place. Absolutely disgusting behavior to attempt to profit by having people ignore the very real problems BIPOC are facing every day, and this half-arsed non-apology is worse than nothing. How on earth do you not realize what you're posting? Be a grown-up and take responsibility for the harm you caused. It just keeps going. It really just keeps going. Never apologize. Good. Nope. I reject this non-apology. I'd say do better, but it appears the only viewpoint you are consistently capable of acknowledging is privileged, dismissive, insensitive, harmful, ignorant, an ignorant one. Monetizing murder. Wow. It's 2020. Your job as a white person is to know and do better. It's a good person. You didn't even acknowledge what was wrong and why it was wrong. This is a non-apology. Not okay. That's good person. Never apologize. Good. Oh, okay. This person. So what they do sometimes, guys, is they play like good cop and bad cop. So you'll have people that overtly come in and are just like, "Rah, you're an evil person and no apology will ever be good enough." And then you have people that like they try to start off nice before they go into the demeaning. Steven asks, "What is the URL?" Oh, that wasn't the one I wanted. Ah! What is the URL I'm reading this from? Is it publicly accessible? I'll actually chat it in. This is on Stephen B's Instagram account, which is, it's Stephen B Studios. There's the URL. But his, hang on. Maybe I can even do this. Here's his Instagram page so you can follow him. Guys, like follow him, send him a message of support. I know he's reading it because I got a message from him earlier today. So send him a message of support. Let him know that like he did nothing wrong. I think he's really reeling from this, from what I understand. And so I'm sure any support would be appreciated. All right, let's keep going. Hi, Stephen. I am a fellow Southsider who lives just a few blocks away from your shop. In my overflowing feelings of sadness and anger regarding George Floyd, who was a member of our community getting murdered, the pain his friends, loved one, and to the POC individuals, people of color, who see themselves reflected in George, I am also worried about your shop and many other locally owned ones, and felt compelled to see what the status was and if anything had happened. This morning, I only watched a few seconds of your video, but I did not watch most of it. However, I could tell that you were shaken up, as are so many right now. Right now, you are being called in to right your actions and take ownership of the pain that you caused POC from your video and those who want more from you. Right now, it is important to embrace discomfort that you are sitting instead of quietly trying to alleviate yourself from discomfort and removing yourself from the spotlight. I am asking this as another person, as another white person who holds the privilege card. Please take time to reflect on how you have weaponized your whiteness. Yes, the intent might not have been to hurt people of color on a conscious level with your words, but your impact definitely did. Please listen to what people are saying, and please practice deep reflection. If you start to feel defensive, please reflect further. These people are crazy. These people are insane. They're insane, man. Whatever. Good. These people are nuts. Yup. All right. Some of us would love to escape through knitting, but we don't have that luxury. Please take the opportunity to do anything to something, anything, to acknowledge the pain and anguish of the BIPOC who support you. We need folks like you to take action, not encourage escape. All right, we could keep going, but I'm frankly losing my voice, and I think we're kind of getting to the end of it because I can see that my comments are starting to come up. But I do want to note just one thing, guys. So I posted this last night on Instagram, and for all the knitters, I really just want to encourage you. Here's one post I made. I got this stunning yarn from this shawl from Stephen B's booth at Vogue Knitting Live in January. I hereby commit right now to buying a metric fuck ton of yarn from his store as long as he does not apologize to the SJW bullies again. He apologized once. It's done. Show him you have his back and commit to doing the same. Post so he can see how much support he has. So I really encourage people, if you're a knitter, if you have knitters in your life, if you know someone that might want to learn how to knit, please support Stephen B through this. And I can show as proof. I actually did buy I bought about $300 worth of yarn today. Now that's not a metric fuck ton. Hang on. That's not really a metric fuck ton. It's a lot. It's a good bit of yarn. But I do actually plan on buying more. The reason I only bought this much this time around is because honestly, I have a lot of yarn. And I have a lot of projects in the works. And so I do plan on buying more when I can. But I did start out with a nice big, like almost $300 purchase. And I really encourage people to buy from him, show him your support that way. I'm sure every little bit helps. Even if you only buy one skein or one kit or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just showing any support would be really, really great. All right, folks. That's really all I have. As you can see, I'm like crazy hot. My office sometimes, not all the time, but there are days my office just gets really, really hot. So I'm going to go change into non-sweaty clothes, go order some Buffalo Wild Wings so I can get even fatter for people in the chat who like to make fun of me, Morgan, for fat shaming, whatever. I really don't care, man. I'm married. I don't need to be pretty anymore. My husband loves me just the way I am. And eventually I'll get my gym back and be able to lose weight. But until then, I'm going to go get some Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm going to drink some beer. I'm going to go relax. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I have like a whole list of videos that I'm going to be doing this weekend. I want to talk about how Amy Klobuchar had a chance to prosecute that cop and she didn't do it. Amy Klobuchar probably just had her chances for VP nuked. And I'm really happy about that. I'm going to be answering some questions about being a liberal and, you know, why I'm supporting Trump, all that good stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to go relax for the rest of the night. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and more coming soon. All right, take care.